Hi everyone, my name is Raquel Hulst and I'm a PhD student at the Center of Excellence for Rehabilitation Medicine at the UMC Utrecht in the Netherlands. And today I would like to share with you the results from the 24-hour activity checklist with a focus on sleep problems in children with cerebral palsy and their parents. Now let's start off with a brief overview of sleep in children with cerebral palsy. I'm sure we are all aware of the importance of sleep, and some argue that one of the most fundamental requirements for healthy growth and development in children is to have adequate, good quality sleep. Now, increasing evidence suggests that children with CP are a population at risk for the occurrence of sleep problems, and the consequences of these sleep problems are extensive, affecting basically all aspects of child health, functioning, and quality of life. Now, in addition to the negative implications for the child, their sleep problems can hugely impact on the sleep and well-being of the entire family. But despite the high prevalence of sleep problems and the burden they place on children and their families, sleep has received only limited attention in pediatric rehabilitation. Implementation of an assessment tool within a routine follow-up could assist clinicians in detecting sleep problems, and this underscores the need for a brief, practical tool that can be easily applied in routine care. To this aim, last year we developed a clinical practice guide about the 24-hour activities in children with CP and released the so-called 24-hour activity checklist. The checklist was designed as a practical tool to open and facilitate the conversation about physical activities, which I will not discuss today, and sleep with parents in the healthcare setting. This way, the checklist was aimed to guide clinicians in determining whether a more thorough assessment or referral is warranted when sleep problems are detected. The checklist includes 10 questions about the child's sleep, but also pays attention to the sleep of the parents. Parents can indicate on a 5-point scale from never to always how often problems occur. So in 2020, the checklist was implemented into the CP care paths of 3 pediatric rehabilitation settings in the Netherlands. And 1 year after implementation, we aim to explore the extent to which sleep problems can be detected. We collected 90 checklists from children with CP across all levels of GMFCS and between the ages of 0 to 11 years old. 41% of the children were girls and 84% were ambulatory. Now, in addition to this study group, we collected another 157 checklists from typically developing children and their parents, which served as a reference group. So how satisfied are parents about their child's sleep? The darker the green, the more often parents are satisfied. Parents of a child with CP were less satisfied about their child's sleep compared to parents of a typically developing child. Furthermore, when we look at children who are ambulatory versus those who are non-ambulatory, we found that parents of non-ambulatory children are less satisfied about their child's sleep than parents of ambulatory children. Moving on to the type and frequency of parent-reported sleep problems, we here see the different types of sleep problems with the darker the blue color, the more frequently these problems are reported in children. In both study groups, we found difficulties falling asleep and early morning wakings, which are both signs of insomnia, to be the most frequently reported sleep problems. In addition to these similarities, we found that children with CP were more likely to experience other sleep problems, especially waking up during the night and pain or discomfort in bed. Also, daytime functioning was more impaired, with 1/3 of the children with CP suffering from daytime fatigue often or always. Finally, when we look at the last bar of each of these highlighted graphs, we can see that these sleep problems are more pronounced in children who are non-ambulatory. Moving on to the parent sleep, we found no significant differences between CP and TD groups. However, parents of non-ambulatory children with CP reported to be less satisfied about their own sleep than parents of ambulatory children. Also, parents of both groups reported high rates of sleep deprivation, with about a quarter of parents of typically developing children compared to a third of parents of a child with CP, and an overwhelming 50% of parents of a non-ambulatory child reported feeling sleep deprived often or always. Finally, let's have a look at the total number of sleep problems per child. Here, difficulties occurring often or always, so more than half of the week, were considered as a sleep problem. Based on these dichotomized values, this graph shows the child-by-child distribution of the total number of sleep problems, so the percentage of children who have 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 7 sleep problems. We can see from the graph that the majority, 72% of the children with CP, shown in dark orange, had at least one sleep problem, compared to 46% in typically developing children, shown in light orange. When we compare the ambulatory group of children with CP in light blue to their non-ambulatory peers in dark blue, we can see that those who are more severely affected also have more sleep problems. So, in conclusion, sleep problems are commonly reported in children with CP, and these children are more likely to have sleep problems than their typically developing peers. Sleep problems occur in children of all GMFCS levels, but non-ambulatory children appear to be more severely affected by sleep problems both in frequency and in number. In addition to child sleep problems, a large group of parents reports feeling sleep deprived, and therefore sleep problems in children with CP should be approached in a family-centered manner with consideration for parental sleep too. The results that I presented today call for more attention to be placed on the importance of sleep, including parental sleep, in pediatric healthcare. We encourage healthcare professionals who work with children with CP to increase awareness and change practice by integrating sleep assessments into their routine practices, for example, using the 24-hour activity checklist to identify sleep problems. Thank you.